Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 6, Episode 45, DJI Mini 4 Pro User Experience. Hope everyone's doing well this evening. Ron went to Pennsylvania to see his dad today, so he will not be joining us. Marcus, I believe, will be joining us here in a little bit. Let's got a lot of people in the chat already. You guys were ready to rock tonight. Wow. Let's see, Mark White is here. Akarasho, Lauren, welcome. Dr. Ted is here. Waypoint New England. John, welcome. Art is here. Welcome. Let's see who else. Scott Nadeau, Michael Wright, Johnny Droneflyer. Welcome, Johnny. Let's see who else is here. Drone Fun 64. See who else. John Olson. See who else we got. Oh, got a good house in here tonight. JSK Enterprise, Sergeant Rock. Going through and making sure I get everybody here. Okay. All right. We're doing something different tonight. Bill the Drone Reviewer on a Facebook page, I think. Doing a live stream. It's live streaming out there. I decided just to, for grins and giggles, I like doing that every once in a while. So if you're out on Facebook, on the page right now, you're watching me live, just the same as on YouTube. I'm sorry, pardon me for this cough. Anyway, got some stuff to talk about tonight. Rather thin pickings here, as far as things to talk about. First and foremost, our holiday giveaways coming up, and you know what that means. There's going to be somebody here. Sitting here, okay, right next to me, and we're going to be having some fun. Cups, mugs, t-shirts, stickers, all kind of goodies. Going to get some to you guys. So we have a lot of fun. Maybe a couple of Amazon gift cards. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. We'll make it fun. We'll make sure that you guys don't go away empty-handed. But that's going to come up. Christmas week, we're going to have a replay of probably one of the better episodes of the year. Christmas is on a Monday. Christmas Day is on the 26th, and that'd be Rotor Talk. Rotor Talk that night will be a replay of one of the better episodes this year. And I haven't 100% decided which one, but you'll like it. Okay. It'll be a good one. It'll be relevant. It'll be some great information. So it'll be good to watch. So hope you guys decide to join us for that. So, but holidays are coming up. Things are getting busy here. Things are busy for us right now. November's a busy month for us because Valerie's mom's birthday is this weekend. And then 3 or 4 days, I think 3 days after that, it's my daughter's birthday. And then we celebrate the birthday of my dad. That's always a great day for me. It also happened to be the day that he passed, but you know what? It's just a celebratory day. It's just, my dad was just so full of life and just a wonderful person. Just will always be my hero. So, okay, enough said with public service announcements here. Okay, all right. See what we got to talk about tonight. Okay, I thought I had that up here. Marcus will be joining us probably at 8:30 tonight. So I just got a message from him on that. Trying to pull up a couple of the articles that I had here. I thought I had them all. Thought I had them all. Okay. Let me go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. DJI Matrice 3D docking station. All right. That's coming out, and looks like that is going to be tomorrow the 8th. Tomorrow is the 8th, and it looks like there is a release for that. So we're going to go over that here. Okay. Leaked DJI teaser sets. I'm sorry about that. Sets November 8th mini dock and Matrice 3D drone unveiling. Igor, the morning, he adds more evidence the company's approaching introduction by sharing the company's November 8th teaser of the mini. I'm sorry about this, guys. whose slogan in Chinese text translates to a light burden to carry. Okay. All right. I don't want to have to bore you with everything, but in case this is for the Matrice 3D, and this is what that is. The unbending limbs appear in subsequent photos to be raised higher than most DJI drones. Those, as Igor leaks revealed, appear to be to permit the Matrice 3D to sit in and operate from the confines of the new Mini Dock, set for introduction on Wednesday. The question is whether featuring only the Mini Dock in the teaser is a clue DJI has decided to roll out a nest that won't be of much use to clients until it gets around to trotting out the twin drone, or by contrast, whether the whether the dock winds up being perhaps as a salute to Igor and his dedicated sleuthing, a high-tech doll whose opening Wednesday will reveal the Matrice 3D inside. So don't know if you're on clue for that. That's going to be tomorrow, and my guess, okay, it has 2100 is the time, and military time, that's what, 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock? I think it's 10. I think it's 10. Okay, 21, 22, 23, 24, 23 would be 11. 22 would be 10. Be 9 o'clock. 9. I don't know if this is. I think that's going to be 9 p.m. I don't know, but be looking for this, and it's going to be DJI Enterprise. I would not go out to their website, but I would type DJI Enterprise if you guys are wanting to follow something like this. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to play that out. My guess is it might be on DJI.com. So take a look tomorrow morning at 9. If not, it'll be. I think it's more like tomorrow night at 9 p.m. But again, remember, over in China, their time, you cross the international date line and all that, and time is just don't even ask me to try to translate that because I can't. So, but that's tomorrow. So, and my guess is, this is just off the top of my head, I'm thinking that they'll reveal this tomorrow. Okay, that you will see that it will be on, it will be there. So have at it, guys. You're more than welcome to do that. Okay. I had no idea. All right. I thought I had banners typed up. I thought I typed them up. They're all gone. I don't ask me why. All right. Usually, I do pretty good. That was a one from last week that you just saw. So, okay. Okay, bipartisan push. American Security Drone Act of 2023 takes aim at foreign drone use in U.S. And this was from Drone XL. And again, all these articles are out on Bill the Drone Reviewer Facebook group. So you're welcome to go ahead and look at them. Okay. Latest move to bolster national security and foster domestic technology growth. Key members of the U.S. Congress have introduced American Security Drone Act of 2023. The bill was unveiled November 1st, takes a firm stance against the utilization of foreign-made drones, particularly from countries seen as potential national security threats. While the legislation does not appear explicitly name any company, the undercurrent strongly suggests that Chinese drone manufacturer DJI might find itself in the crosshairs should the act pass into law. The bipartisan bill was introduced by Congressman Rob Whitman alongside Representatives Joe Courtney, Mike Gallagher, Raja, and I can't pronounce his name, aims to curb the federal government's procurement of drones manufactured in certain nations, redirecting U.S. funds away from Chinese-made drones in the interest of national security, okay? And it gets into the main provisions of the National Security Drone Act. The core provision is the ban on the procurement of drones by federal agencies if the drones are manufactured or assembled by certain foreign entities identified as national security risk. Okay, that's basically the bill in a nutshell. It would not affect us as consumers, but it's the federal government, agencies of the federal government couldn't buy these type of drones. Obviously, obviously DJI would be on that list. So stay tuned for that. Definitely read this article if you want to get more information on this. I'm just giving you a 50,000 foot view here. just as a word, a note here for you guys, just to let you know, more often than not with bills like this, okay, they never really make it out of committees. They get stalled, they get bogged down because of language, because somebody wants something and everything and compromises. And it takes a lot for a bill to become a law. It really does. And the simpler it is, the easier it is to pass. But all these representatives want to add their own special whatever to it. So I'm not never we don't get into politics here, but I'm telling you with this, okay, I would not expect something like this to come into law, but who knows? Okay. But I would say if I were a betting man, I don't think this bill's gonna make it through, because even the House passed it. If you guys remember your basic civics, it has to go to the Senate. The Senate has to approve it, and then the president has to sign it. Okay, so it's a long way from doing this. But again, this is just to prevent departments of the government from buying drones from companies or from countries that are on the national security list, which obviously China is one of them. So stay tuned for that. Pay attention to that article. If there's anything else regarding this, I'll make sure to get that out there for you guys to see that. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. The next article I want to get into now, I also want to talk to Marcus at the bottom of the hour, because we're going to talk to him about his latest video. Okay. And I'm really anxious to talk to him about that. And I want to let you guys know right off the bat, I'm in Marcus's corner 100% on that. Okay. Just to let you know his latest video about the Air 3. And like I said, we'll get into it here. So, but it was real curious that, okay, new DJI Air 3 firmware update arrives with bug fixes. Okay. But it's so funny. It's one of the ones, before we get started, and I want to go over the article here. Before we get, it's so funny, because what I do is, and you guys will probably see it, I'll do a short on the firmware update. All right. And all it said in the body of the firmware update was fixed some bugs. That was it. Nothing specific at all. Okay. Now, the official release notes by DJI do not mention specifically which issues are being resolved. Okay. There you go. All right. And still, the drone maker recommends you keep your devices updated to their latest version for better and safer flight experience. Okay. The last major firmware update for the Air 3 came out in September, when DJI made its all-around drone compatible with the latest generation Goggles Integra and Goggles 2 and RC Motion 2 remote controller for FPV flight. The latest model of the Air series has undergone comprehensive upgrades. It's just talking about the Air 3. Aircraft firmware version V01.00.0700 is now available for the Air 3. Additionally, the remote controller firmware has been bumped up to V02.00.01.00 for the DJI RC 2, which features a built-in display screen, and to V01.00.05.00 for the DJI RC N2. You can also update the DJI Fly app to its latest version, 1.12.3. As always, check the camera settings in the app after updating the firmware, since they would likely have been reset to default. And make sure you do that, and that's a good point of note. Okay, anytime you do a firmware update, it's going to reset everything. Okay, like your altitude limits, your return to home altitude, everything. Get in there, go back in there and do it. I know it's a pain in the butt, but that way, you're not having, like, why is it coming back at 400 feet? Okay, when I hit return to home, I didn't change the setting. All right, and then your camera settings and everything. So go back in there and double check. Some of them don't change. Like, for example, I like to have I like to have both sets of crosshairs up there, just because for visual reference. I think it really helps me a lot. So okay, all right. Yeah, we're going to talk about that drone fun 64 coming up down at the bottom of the hour when Marcus joins us. I want to have him on, because and the curious thing about this is with Marcus and what happened, was this a cause of it? You know, that's an unknown, and that's a huge unknown. And again, we're going to talk some more about this. But when you see something like fixed some bugs, it really just is very curious as to what actually did this fix. I mean, you know, I'm going to tell you, I have flown the Air 3 quite a bit. I have quite a bit of time on the Air 3, and to be honest, I haven't noticed anything. Okay, I really haven't noticed anything. So, yeah, Dr. Ted, yeah, I'm waiting for the Air 3S too. Yeah. Hey, Chris, welcome. Glad to see you're here tonight. Yeah, that's funny. The Air 3S, Dr. Ted. I like that. But no, I have not had, you know, my user experience, and we're going to talk about the Mini 4 Pro user experience too here in a little bit. But my user experience with the Air 3, it's been flawless. I mean, and I've really pushed this drone. I mean, I've really done a lot. You know, for example, on one of my flights, and you've already seen it on video, I did a combination master shots. You know, I did that like twice. And I think I did hyperlapse on it as well. You know, I really kind of pushed it to its limit. You know, I've taken it out, and I've really, you know, got the battery down to about 20%, and it's been flawless. I have not had any issues with that. The AR return to home works fine. You know, so I really can't say anything. Although it was kind of interesting this weekend, my flights this weekend, and I flew both drones this weekend. My flights this weekend, precision landing wasn't quite as precision for both the Air 3 and for the Mini 4 Pro. In fact, the Mini 4 Pro, only one of the landing gear ended up touching on the mat. Everything else was on the concrete over there, but so be it. All right. But no, we're going to talk more when Marcus joins us, because I do want to spend some time on his to talk to him about what transpired with his Air 3, because I think it's real important, and I think it's real important that we set the record straight in you know, and like I said, I am 100% in Marcus's corner here. So okay, all right, we're done with that. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, now our good friend Sean from Air Photography did a there's a great, he did a Osmo Pocket 3 tips and tricks, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this. This is on Drone XL, and this is on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group. So tip 1, rotating display on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. First tip is about changing the behavior of the front screen when you power it off. By default, when you rotate the screen, the device powers on and powered off again. You rotate the screen, and it gives you a 2-second timer before shutting down. You can cancel the 2-second timer if you want to continue filming in portrait mode. However, in our settings, there's an option to rotate screen to power off. By default, it's set to give you a 2-second timer, but you can set it to shut down immediately by selecting now, or choose to have it never shut off. That way, if you plan to film a lot in portrait mode, you can simply rotate the screen. It'll go right into portrait filming. Personally, I prefer to have it set to now. When we rotate the screen, it immediately powers off. Okay, you know, there's one of the tips. I don't want to go over all these here, okay? Direction the camera faces on startup, auto face tracking, DJI Mic 2 record button, DJI Mic 2 field recorder, Mic 2 audio meter, record button to turn on off, quick capture feature, active tracking, focus style, okay? Sean's an expert at this kind of stuff, and he does a great job. And I highly recommend you watch this video if you have the Pocket 3. My Pocket 3, yeah. The last weekend was so crazy busy, I haven't had a chance to get to it yet. But I'm planning on trying to do that this weekend, even though it is my mother-in-law's birthday. So, but yeah, this is something I would highly recommend you guys watch. It's really interesting. Find it interesting that you can import your Litchi waypoint missions as DJI Fly Up to use. That's a good comment, Mark. Oh, wow, that's fantastic, Ray. Thank you for posting that. FYI, Bob Casey will be donating one his beautiful custom American flags as a raffle prize for the South Florida Drone Meetup. Thank you, Bob. And again, Bob, thank you for that. That's awesome. Okay. And it's from Dr. Ted. I need help. Don't SD card to Mac from Mini 4 Pro. Can't use my drone. Okay. And let's see if we can help Dr. Ted out. This import from drone shows no photos available. DJI has been a pain in the butt. All right. Well, that's where we're at with the Pocket 3. One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, and we'll kind of go back and forth here when Marcus joins us. He should be joining us here in just a little bit. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was my user experience with the Mini 4 Pro. And I have to say this. It's been every bit as pleasant a drone to fly as the Air 3, okay? And one of the things that has really impressed me is lately we've had kind of a change in the weather. It kind of got a little cool, but now we're back into the mid 80s and knocking on 90 again. Yeah, I'm done. I'm over that. But anyway, all right. One of the things that's really impressed me about this drone is the wind has picked up. With these weather changes, the wind has picked up. And I have to say, even with the wind picking up, it has performed flawlessly. Okay. Now, I'm talking about doing, like I did master shots with it recently. It was on point. There was the video was smooth. It was steady. There was no problem with it. And you have to remember, this is a smaller drone. Okay. And it could easily get buffeted around. And one of the things that I do hear is when it's landing, you're hearing the compensation. One ESC is slowing up, one's revving up, one's slowing down, one's revving up, one's slowing down. And I got to see it when it was landing last time. It was kind of doing one of these, but while it's up in the air and it lands fine. But one of the things that's really impressed me with that is how it flies up in the air when you're doing that. Okay. It's really kind of rock solid. I'm very, very impressed with that. So, that's one of my big takeaways right away from that. The other one is the camera. Okay. The camera on this is absolutely flawless. Okay. I'm doing master shots. I'm doing the rotating thing, or forgive me, around, not the waypoint, but anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. I've done that with it. It has been absolutely flawless. I mean, and the video that comes back from that, it almost rivals the video from the Air 3. It's so good, the quality on that. And I do most of my shooting, just to let you guys know, when I'm filming video, I do 4K 30. I think that's a real kind of a happy medium, a safe point. It provides a really crisp, clear image for me, one that I like, and I think that's a good thing. And that's just for me. You could be different. There's no right or wrong here. But for me, that seems to work well. It also seems to balance out where I live. Of course, it's sunny here mostly all the time, even in the winter. Okay, we still get sun, not like in the summer. But I don't use ND filters a lot, but with my settings at 4K 30, I think it does a fantastic job. And also, one of the things that people need to remember, okay, and I think this is important, and I had to learn it too, and it took me a while. It took me a good 2-3 years to get into this, was, to point my camera down a little bit more, have a quarter of the horizon and 3/4 below of your scenery and everything. Okay. Because I was having too much horizon, too much sky. And when you do that, you're getting so much more details. Okay. And it really pulls it in, and it's really crisp and clear. And, and like I said, the camera on this drone is really just doing, I think, an exceptional job. It's really pulling things in. It's looking good. Absolutely no complaints about that. I haven't tested obstacle avoidance with it, but the sensors are working. one of the things, oh yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys too. And I thought, okay, when I first got the Mavic 3, and I remembered we were having problems with GPS and acquiring satellites, okay, and I did it out in front of my house, and sure enough, yeah, it's not working, okay. So then I go to take it up to the field where I fly here, and it was fine. Well, I noticed something, all right. It just seems where my house is, okay. Now my house sits a little. The rest of the development is kind of up a little, more elevated. I'm gonna say maybe 30, 40 feet. All right, we're kind of down in maybe a bowl shaped thing. I don't know, but I've noticed it. It was not only the Mavic 3. Okay, it happened with my Air 3. It happened with the Mini 4 Pro, and it takes a while when I fly from my driveway. It takes probably a good minute, maybe I'm going to say almost 2 minutes to get enough satellites to be able to fly, and that's really interesting. That's the first time that's the first time I've noticed that. Okay, which I found to be real interesting. And my thinking is we sit a little bit lower here, but it doesn't really kind of add up because I flew from my last house like that. I never had any GPS issues. Okay. Now that may have been a little more elevated, but I'm not thinking what's blocking the signal. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. So that's a real interesting. If any of you guys have some insight on that, either drop it in the chat or email me at billadronereviewer at gmail.com. There he is, man of the hour. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, Bill. I'm wearing my Adventures with Captain Ray shirt today, so doing okay.
Every time you fly with Captain Ray, it's an adventure. Every single time. Marcus, I want to tell you what here, okay? Number one, I want to let you know I'm one of your number one fans here, okay? And I'm going to say this, all right? Because I saw comments on your video, all right? These people have no idea what they're talking about. And the reason I say that is this, okay? Like you, okay? I'm out there, I'm testing this drone, and I'm testing things like master shots, whatever, obstacle avoidance, all right? You're testing, okay? You're not doing this, oh, let's see if I can go ahead and crash my Air 3 and see if I can get a claim. You're not doing that. Come on. These people, I'm sorry, Marcus, it really riled me up today because I'm like, you know what? You don't get it. You guys don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what you have is a lot of armchair quarterbacks. And let me say this, Bill, as well as I do. If you're going to put yourself out there on a YouTube channel, you better have a thick hide because people are going to say stuff. And you know what? I honestly don't mind it. And a lot of times you look at it and you see if you can learn something, right, from something somebody is saying over. When I get upset is when it's personal attacks, right? Those kinds of things. And you know where I'm coming from there. What I will say is people like to think they're experts, but I can say with regard in particular to obstacle avoidance and APAS, particularly on this latest generation of DJI drones, man, it's transformed the way I fly. I am able to do things now with those drones that I was never able to do before. In other words, fly closer to trees and buildings and everything else with comfort. I always had a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence in that.
Oh yeah,
OA and APAS, and so I guess what I'm saying is I'm not. I don't want this to sound like I'm bragging or anything. All I'm saying is that I believe that I have more experience with that product and those features than 99% of those commenters that are, some of those negative comments. I know. I'm pretty good with it. I know how it works because I've used it a lot. Now, that said, what I probably should have taken notice of on that flight, and if you watch the video, I even commented on it. I was talking about how it seemed like the drone was getting a lot closer to objects than what I had seen in the past. I have a feeling that there was something up with that firmware update.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Wright even brought it up yesterday in the chat on Drone Nation. Could it have been stuck in nifty mode? Now, if you look at the screen recording, and you always double check yourself. I had it in normal mode, I had it in normal speed mode, and I had it in normal APAS mode, not nifty mode. But it almost acted like maybe it was in nifty mode. Regardless, it is what it is. And I also want to say this: 98% of those comments were very positive. So you tend to focus on a couple of negative things, but yeah,
and I did see that, and guys are in the chat, of course, 100% behind you here, and I think the thing that, and you really kind of nailed it, Marcus, is you've had the experience. Okay, it's not like this is your first drone and you're going out and oops, this wasn't an oops. Okay, this wasn't I didn't mean to kind of a thing. Okay, and it's interesting that you pointed it out, because one of the things that I noticed after the firmware update, and this is just me, okay, the Air 3 had been spot on landing on the pad. It didn't land. It barely made the pad. Most of it was off the pad over this weekend, and I was just kind of like scratching my head, because you know what? It's been on the pad the whole time. I mean, and I've had that thing out like forever, and I'm like, like what? And then I saw your video today, and I said, you know what? The thing that gets me about the firmware updates fixed some bugs. Okay. Huh?
Yeah. What is that? Yeah.
Yeah. Was there a mosquito or what? I mean,
Yeah.
seriously. I mean, when you see something like that, it's real generic and high level, it really is a head scratcher. And then you have something like this happen, because I know you've used optical avoidance on the Air 3 already. And I know it's worked. So, it really 1 and 1 is not adding up here.
Well, and I can't say specifically if I've flown over that exact wall with the Air 3 before, but I know I have with other drones. That's a route that I fly often. And I know I've had other drones that have seen that wall and gone right over the top. So, just take it for whatever it's worth. Yeah, we'll just. I'm anxious to see what DJI says. Right? It's already set off. It's on its way to. Maybe Mike Wright can help me out. It's on its way to Fort Worth, Texas, and they'll look at it. It's going UPS ground though, so it won't be delivered until they won't have it until this coming Thursday, according to the tracking. And then we'll see what they say. And if they try and say, hey, it's user error, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to argue with them a little bit and see where it goes. So yeah, push comes to shove. I've got Care Refresh, although I don't want to use it unless it's absolutely necessary.
And I agree. And you did the smart thing here, because I really think you were right in what you did. Okay, because you're not out there. It's not like you're willfully, oh, I want to crash my drone. Okay. Who in the world wakes up in the morning and says, I want to crash my drone?
Yeah, I got a few of those. Yeah, a couple of those accusations in the comments. And it's like, really?
Seriously.
Now let me say this. Because I use APAS and obstacle avoidance a lot, I knew that there's a chance that at some point a drone could go down. And by that, I mean catching a little branch or something like that off of a tree. And what's been remarkable to me is how good it is. You saw some of those tests I did where I had it tracking me. Heck, you're not even at that point, you're not even flying the drone. It's tracking you or whatever. And it's zipping in and out of the trees and so forth. Never hit anything. I mean, never even came close to anything. So that's what makes this really odd. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I got a feeling. I think they may give you a little bit of pushback, but I think they'll go ahead and do this here. That's just my gut feeling from them. So we'll see, and everybody stay tuned to this. And guys, if you haven't gone out to comment on Marcus's video, do that. It would it's just it's. Let me put it to you this way, okay? We're all one here in this wonderful drone community, okay? And the people that are going out there and leaving these comments, okay? In the ham radio community, we call them sad hams, okay? And they're just sad, frustrated drone flyers, okay? And they have nothing. And like Marcus said, they're armchair quarterbacks. They probably they might not even have had a drone, okay? Or oh, they've flown a drone for a month and they're a SME on it, okay? No, that doesn't happen. It takes time. You get behind the sticks, you learn, you understand things, okay? So stay tuned to this.
Well, let's also add that I am not against somebody criticizing something that I do with a drone either, because the way I look at it is, maybe you see something that I'm doing that is, causing a risk to the drone or something like that. Hey, I want to hear about it. Maybe it is. I mean, sometimes, in other words, not all criticism is bad. Sometimes it can be very legitimate, and you welcome it. But the know-it-alls guys that Bill, that they might have a drone, but it's probably an old Phantom 3 or something like that, and they don't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah. So stay tuned to all this. I kind of want to switch gears here just a little bit, okay, about the Mini 4 Pro, all right, and talking about the user experience with it. And one of the things that I was saying before you came on was one of the one thing that, I mean, I'm impressed by it, but the thing that has really impressed me, Marcus, is the weather's been kind of topsy-turvy here. Like it's gotten a little cooler, now it's gotten a little warmer again, and with that we're getting a lot of wind, all right? And I'll tell you what, I went out the past weekend, did master shots on that. Stable as a rock up there, and you could hear, and you know how I know it's windy? When it's coming in to do a landing, I'm hearing it, and then I saw the drone, it was just doing one of these going over the pad. So it's windy. I mean, you obviously could see it, but the stability of that platform, it's incredible. Thinking how much it weighs.
Yeah, particularly with the Mini 3 and Mini 4 now, the way the way they changed the gimbal and the camera mount on it, it allows the drone to pitch a lot more. So it is a way more capable in the wind than it used to be on the earlier models. There's no doubt.
And the other thing that's really impressed me too, and it really has taken note, it's really interesting because Valerie will come in, Sunday when I go out, or Saturday when I go out flying, she'll come in and she'll watch sometimes the raw video that I'm taking off there. She says, that's fantastic. Okay. And it's just her untrained eye. I mean, I haven't done anything. I'm just playing the clip as it comes off the card, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, my gosh, it's the colors, everything. It's crisp. It's clear. It's the camera is just absolutely fantastic on it.
It is amazing. You look at, if you want to talk about cameras, that new DJI Pocket 3 that they just came out with, I really believe you could make a Hollywood movie with that.
Yeah.
It is stunning how good the video quality is.
Yeah, Sean put out a video, tips for the Pocket 3, and that's something I highly recommend to people. He really kind of nailed that on the head. And and one of the things for me, and this is just my preference, and I kind of started the show off with this, is I shoot a lot in 4K 30. Okay, I think it provides a great balance of everything for me. I like the quality of it. I'm not a big filter guy. I'll use them if I have them, but right now for me, it's really, I'm just overall, it's just very impressive. Now, one of the things that was of real interest was I didn't fly for a weekend, okay? And I went out and I was getting all ready to fly, and I noticed, and this was interesting, okay? Now, I had charged up both the Air 3 batteries in their respective charger and in the Mini 4 Pro batteries, and they were all down a bar, which was real interesting. It was almost a week and a half between flights, and I kind of find that's a little on the not haha funny side, because when I had the Mavic 3, that didn't happen. Okay, they pretty much stayed full charge or close to a full charge.
Well,
Which
Bill, I
was
don't know if
kind
you
of
think
funny.
back. You remember when they used to allow us to adjust that in the app? You
Mhm.
could go into the app and you could tell it how quickly to auto deplete the battery. And you know what? I read an article the other day about how quickly, and I can't remember the exact specifics right off the bat. Edie, thank you so much. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it really is, Marcus, and and I think that's the one thing that I think you know, we've been spoiled this year, Marcus, beyond belief. I mean, with all these
Oh, yeah.
drones and the quality of them, and and you'll get the Air 3 back again, one way, shape, or form, and you'll be out there doing the same thing again. It's like putting it through its paces, because that's one of the things I think you and Ron and I know, and lots of other people enjoy doing, is going out there, not only getting some great shots, but also testing these drones and putting them through their paces. And that's one of the things I could say, like when I was talking about the Air 3 earlier. I really put it through its paces. I mean, a few weeks ago, I did like 2 or 3 master shots on one, and I did a hyperlapse on one, and I was down to like 20% battery, and that thing, it didn't skip a beat. I mean, there was no ifs, ands, or buts, and they all came out flawless on that, and and it was a good chunk of time. Now, this weekend, I kind of pushed the Air 3 to what I thought was its limits. What I did was I did a perimeter run of our entire development, okay, which was real interesting. And what I did was, after I did the entire perimeter and I came back to my starting point, I went up 400 feet, back to drone up, and angled the gimbal down so you could see the entire development from that angle. Went up forward up by the highway, reversed the drone, did that so you can see the entire development from that angle. This is a video that's going to be coming out this weekend. Marcus, it just took my breath away. Okay, the quality and Christmas, and it was at 400 feet. Okay,
I got a challenge for you, Bill.
what's that?
You live in an area, and I've seen it because I know this because I've seen it on Original Dobo's videos. You need to try out night mode with that Air 3 in downtown Tampa.
Yeah,
I know that's not how far is that from where you live?
It's about 10, 15 miles, so it's a little bit of a trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth it. I know. And you know what? I know where he goes to down there. Okay, I know exactly. There's a parking garage down there that he goes to where he flies from. But I know another area. Okay, what's real nice is we have a IKEA, and it's right near downtown. All right, and what's nice is about 9 o'clock at night, the parking lot's like clearing out,
Empty. Sure.
That is an ideal place to go because it's out, it's in the open, and it's right. I mean, it's right next to downtown, and you can get some great shots from there. So yeah, that is an excellent suggestion.
Try out that night mode. You've got a really colorful downtown there, and yeah, take Valerie with her, have her be your visual observer,
Spotter, yeah.
your VO, and
yeah, I've thought about that several times. And that's one of the things that I want to do is I want to do some more night flying. I'm starting to get a little more comfortable with it. Like I've done a couple of laps up around our clubhouse. I did that originally with the Mavic 3, and I had some level of comfort because it's a whole different perspective flying at night. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You really have to, it's amazing when you see people like Billy and Ken are out there at night, and it's just like, well, it's an acquired skill. Okay. That's something you just don't do that. You just don't pick up that drone on your second day and go out flying at night. Okay. You need to learn how that drone behaves before you go out there and do something like that. I mean, that's just the way it is for something like that. It really is.
I agree.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's an excellent suggestion. That's one of the things that I want to do is to get out there and do that. Because what I've seen from some of my night stuff already, I absolutely love it, and I'm real anxious to do that. And like you said, our downtown, it has a lot of good colors to it.
It's got a lot of color, and a lot of the buildings, I don't know if they're reflective and whatever, and it just looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Dobo does. And I know where he goes. He goes to a parking garage down there, and see, downtown Tampa at night, it's deserted. Okay. There's like nothing is open down there. I mean, it's a business type of downtown. So, I mean, nothing is open. I mean, they really don't have it. They have like daytime cafes and stuff, but everything is closed down there. And it's real nice. And one of the things that I always wanted to get was there's a real nice where the Tampa Bay Lightning play over there. Okay. Amalie Arena. There's a nice blue hue to it. And I could get that from that point over at IKEA, not too far from that.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's one of the things I'm really kind of anxious to do that sometime. And now, I mean, it won't be much past 6 or 7 o'clock at night because
yeah. It's so weird looking out the window at 5:30 at night, and it's pitch black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went up to our bistro, our cafe here at the clubhouse tonight, and we're eating it, and it's like 6 o'clock, and I'm looking at Valerie, and I'm like, no. The lights are on in the pool and everything. I'm like, no, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just not right, is it? Yeah.
No, it's not. It is absolutely not right. Got a question for you. Okay. And we kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but I still get a feeling, and I don't know what it is, that DJI is still going to come out with something before the end of the year, consumer wise. Okay. I don't know. I can't explain it.
All I can tell you is our friend in Calgary has dropped a few hints in the past, Bill.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you. Yeah. I really wouldn't be surprised, because I just think, we're at what? This is kind of sort of getting to the middle of November right now. So there's like probably a little bit over a month and a half left of the year, And I gotta think something else is now. Of course, we know that docking station with the Trees 3D is gonna drop tomorrow. That's one of the things that's going to be released. But I just have a feeling that something else is going to hit. I go out to Igor every day because I'm waiting for something else to drop right now, and I haven't seen anything. And I'm just like doing one of these.
So a successor to the Avata. To the Avata, and what if it's sub 250 gram, so it falls underneath the regulation, many of the regulations.
Mm-hmm. That would be
DJI might even get John Coopy to buy that one.
We would love that. That would be fantastic. I would absolutely love to see that. That would be great. That would be absolutely great. But it's getting to be right now. We're kind of coming up on the end of the year, and it's been such an incredible year this year. I mean, it's like, and I don't want to say, excuse me, I don't want to say it's because that embargo or whatever, but I think DJI has just been geared up. Okay, and I think the big thing, and I think this is the reason DJI has been cranking these things out. Okay. They really don't have a lot of competition, Marcus. They really don't.
Yeah. Sad, but true. That's why I wish that there was another competitor for consumer camera drones that, was a real competitor. But you know what? They're still giving us really good stuff, Bill. So,
yeah,
if there's one survivor, I guess I'm happy that it's DJI, because they do put out a nice product.
Yeah. Now,
and they keep getting better. They keep surprising us with
they do
more refinement and
they do
better cameras, better flight controls, better connections. better. Now I'm saying this, better obstacle avoidance and better bypass systems. So
Yeah, and it seems, one of the things that I found is DJI constantly improves things, and I've always said this from the start when I started my channel. What you see in Inspire, well, you'll see in a consumer drone. Okay, things trickle on down, and even what you see in a Matrice, some of these things will end up trickling on down to consumer drones because DJI does not like to waste technology, and they do such a good job with this. I mean, for example, and I'll bring up the Pocket 3. All right, it's not an action cam, but you know what? It's every bit as good as one. And like you said, you could film a full length feature with this camera.
right.
You really can. And the thing that I really absolutely love about it, Marcus, is the audio on this. Okay, the audio is just so crisp and clear from the Pocket 3. It's just crazy incredible. It really is. I mean, they just hit a major home run, and I think it should sell well for the holidays. I really do.
Yeah, I expect it probably will. Although I have been kind of holding myself back. I absolutely need to sell some other stuff before I buy that Pocket 3. It's tough. I want to order. I want to hit that buy button, Bill, but I'm just holding back. I need to sell. I've got a few other action cameras and stuff back here that need to go.
Well, Ron has put and I got to thank, God bless Ron, okay, because I'm really tempted to pull that buy button on the Action 4, okay. I'm so tempted to do that, and of course, I have to, like you, I have to sell the old. But this is the action cam that's really kind of piqued my interest since the first action cam came out. I think they really have upped the ante with that one, and I really like what I see with this. It's just. And I've watched Ron's videos, and I'm just really impressed with it.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say about the Action 4 is that there's no question they hit parity with GoPro and the Hero 12. I think they've, DJI finally in that action camera business finally caught up. So
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Now I want to let everybody know at the very beginning of the chat, I dropped in from Richard had posted a link for the Holy Stone module, and it's the very beginning of the chat. I'm also going to drop it on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group, so you're welcome to go out there if this is something that interests you. Richard's done a lot of extensive testing on it, and he said, there you go,
one of those, Bill.
There you go.
Haven't even taken it out of the box.
There you go. Marcus has it. Okay. But yeah, it's something. Rich and Richard, I didn't see. Yeah, you're in there. Golden ticket signed by Igor. Okay. I'm glad to see you're there, Richard. Yeah, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for taking the time and interest to go ahead and test this out, because it didn't seem like a lot of people were really doing a lot. So our hats off to you for doing that. I think
he thoroughly tested that, didn't he? Yeah, Richard went
really
above and beyond, man.
Yes, he did, and it works, and it's priced right. I mean, it really it's very reasonable. So if if you have like a Phantom 3, Phantom 4, if you need something, if you need that an RID module, get this one. Okay, Richard's tested it; it works. All right, that's just bottom line. Again, I'll drop that at Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group, so if you guys are interested, and I'll also go out and I'll put it under the community tab on YouTube as well. So if you guys are interested, you can't beat the price. I mean, what, $49? And that's just too good. It really is, and it works. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, Bill. The new Matrice and Docker tomorrow. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. So, any closing thoughts, Marcus?
Well, we've got again, as we get into fall, anytime you get a good day with the sun out, get a chance to get out there and fly, because the snow is going to be flying before we know it. I think ask Lauren, he's already got a bunch of snow on the ground up there in Calgary. So yeah, get out there and fly.
Okay. John, Mavic 4, right, Lauren? You may be close. Okay. All right. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. All right. Um,
That's
yeah.
a good. That's a good point, Edie.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I want to let everybody know if you haven't, I've made everybody moderators that's in the chat tonight. I think most of you are. If you're not, drop your name here. I'll get to it next week. You know, I promise you guys, because you guys are all fantastic, and that's why. You know, I know Drone Nation is a great chat, you know, that goes on during the show. You guys do great here as well. You're fantastic. So, you know, your reward is I make all of you moderators because you're so good and you guys do a good job. And mostly because if you have links, I want you to be able to drop links in there. I think that's a good thing. But no, you guys do a great job in the chat and really have policed yourselves fine since day one, since we've been doing this. I guess.
Oh, well, it's probably, one more word. Today is the first Tuesday of November. If you haven't already voted, make your voice heard, get out there and vote. And
Yes.
I can tell you in our case, it was just some local elections, but there was a bond on the ballot as well. This stuff is important, and get out there and vote.
That's a good point, Marcus, because you know a lot of people get so wrapped up in the big national elections, presidential, and all this everything. Okay, what really makes a difference is your local issues in your county, in your city. I mean, you know, judges.
Well,
sheriffs.
and those bond elections directly affect your taxes.
Oh yeah. So yeah, and be wise. So you know, it's easy to see the big picture with presidential stuff and senators and governors and all that. But this is one where you really need to dig into and take a look at these things because you know bond issues will come before you, or amendments to your state constitution will come before you. You need to really think about these things. Okay, especially you know, is it going to affect your taxes? What kind of a benefit is it going to have? You know, there's just a whole host of things. So yeah, I agree with Marcus 100%. Get out and vote. Okay. It's just not the national. Okay. You know, it's these local elections are what really makes the difference in your life. Okay. National elections. Yeah, but not so much as the local. So yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And like Marcus said, weather's starting to turn up north. I know that. And I saw John Flynn. He won't be able to go out and fly for a couple of days because of rain coming up. And yeah, and you know, we get some time, and I get some time down here where I can't do that because of rain or some inclement weather, but not as much as people up north.
Oh, so. Sure, yeah. In Florida, yeah. Come on, Bill. This is the time of year when you can fly. You know, you're not now in the summertime is when it's tough for you. Is when the humidity is way up and it's 100 degrees or whatever.
Humidity, and that's the nice thing right now. I was telling Valerie when we're going out to dinner tonight, the humidity was just like so comfortable. It was like 50-60%. It's just like really nice right now. So guys, that's all we have for tonight. Ron, I hope you had a good evening or a good time visiting your father today. Thank you for letting me know about that. Stay tuned. Make sure you watch, you know, the rest of the shows this week. Drone Nation coming up again on Monday night. That docking, Matrice 3D docking is coming out tomorrow. Take a look at that. And those of you ham radio guys, okay, I have a very special show coming up tomorrow night. I have James. He's the CEO of Ham Radio Test Prep, okay, and the best course out there and the best way to learn to get your licenses. Stay tuned. It'll be on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern on Ham Radio Basics. So if you guys want to go ahead and follow me out there, we'll have some fun. So anyway, guys, it's been a great evening. As always, it's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody.
Bye.